Another year, another birthday special. I cannot believe this is the third birthday special we are doing together. I turned 27 years old literally today on September 26th when you guys are seeing this and this is uploaded, and so much has changed, has overcome, and these are just some life lessons that I want to bring into the rest of my 20s. As I'm turning 27, I feel like there is so much that I've learned since I was 24 and a half years old when I started this, and there's just so many life lessons that I think are important as you go into prepping for your 30s and really resetting your life to just be more intentional with purpose and really showing up for every area of life. So welcome back to Balance While Blooming. My name is Bridget. I'm 27 years old, a wife, a stepmom. I balance my 9 to 5 with my passions, my purpose, and here I have created a community over the last few years to really show up as your best self and start believing in yourself, your goals, your dreams, while you build every single day, bloom consistently, and balance your life until it becomes a reality. It is possible to achieve everything and anything that you set your mind to. So let's jump into these life lessons because today is my birthday. We only have 3 more years until I'm in my 30s. So what kind of life lessons am I taking into my late 20s and just letting myself find that intention, follow my purpose, and show up as my best self? So the first thing is that you are a garden, not a tree. What does this mean? You can always change, evolve, bloom, grow, and there is always a new season, a new chapter. For me personally, I think that there's 2 times where there's a new season or a new chapter. Not only do you have the seasons like quarterly, but I also think you have chapters of your life from turning 20, turning 25, turning 30. Those are whole new series of your life, but every single year, either calendar year or birthday year, you are living the next chapter of your life, and something should have changed, something should have evolved. You are not a tree. You are not planted to be the same for centuries and bloom a little bit at a time, and then after a point just kind of live your life stuck in one form. You are a garden. You get to plant new seeds every year. What are your intentions and actions that you want to take right now? Because this year, this garden that you want to set is, are you a wildflower? Are you fruit? Are you vegetables? What are you this season that you get to bloom up as every single year? Next is fill your cup. You cannot inspire or support others if you mentally, physically, and emotionally are not taking care of yourself. Schedule in the time for you. I talk about this all the time on my channel of not only are you a priority, but you are as important as everyone else in your life. It's important that you understand that you need to be fulfilled, you need to be taken care of, that you need that energy and that effort to show up as your best self. Because if you don't take the action or you don't show up as your best self, then how are you going to show up and give it your all for someone else? Really think about that. And when you're giving it all to someone, be careful of who you are taking advice from and who you are surrounding yourself with. It's important that when you are looking up to someone or trying to be inspired, that they are either on the journey, have accomplished what you want to accomplish, or they're supporting you from afar in the best way that they can. It's important that you understand that this advice that you're getting from someone, it's not about their ego or their motive. It's about supporting you along your journey, inspiring you, giving you tips, tricks, being there to be that shoulder to cry on, that accountability. And that advice that you have, is it going to help you or harm you? And if it's to harm you, maybe you need to kind of take a step back from that person in this chapter of life, because they don't need to understand where you're going or how you're going there. But there's no more playing nice with these people. The reality is that, is it what you want to hear? Is it what you need to hear? Or are they trying to disrupt you and ruin what you're trying to build. And when you're taking advice from the correct people, they're always going to support you. They're always going to level you up. You're never going to be shot down by someone who's either overcome it or on the journey as well. You're only going to be getting this negativity and this mindset of holding yourself back from people who are jealous or don't understand where you're trying to go. Next is you can reinvent yourself as many times as you need to. As you're changing, as you're pivoting, as you're evolving, I'm an expert at this point of deciding when I need to change, when I need to make a different version of myself. My alter ego is always changing, always evolving, but it's important that you walk into the situation differently every single time. Are you failing forward? Are you learning the lessons? Are you taking those actions that you need to show up as your best self? Is what you overcome throughout the journey going on repeat, or are you altering and changing and understanding and learning along the way? Because you want to have a different experience every time. You want to allow yourself to level up, and this next level person is going to let you create a different reality every single time. You're going to have a different mindset. You're going to think differently. You're going to really take the action differently, and you're going to learn from it as time goes on. And that's so important. Next is don't go with the flow. If you flow down a river, you may get into a twist and turn that you may not want to. It's important to know exactly what you want and what you don't want and where you're going to go with this journey. You don't have to have it all figured out, but don't just go with the flow. Have an overall outline. Don't just let your dreams kind of see where it goes, because you're never going to get to that end destination, or you're going to let someone else kind of lead your path into a way without you even knowing, because you never set anything in stone. Make sure that you know that journey, that path. You're going to have detours. You're going to have things that set you back. You are going to have things that come up. You're not going to have full control, but it's important that you understand how you are taking control of the situation, the next steps you're going to take, and one turn at a time, you're still in control. Because if you just kind of let it go and only look at the destination, you're never going to learn in the moment. And with that being said, you have to learn through the journey, not just the destination. This twists and turns that you're going through, that you are taking control over, learn as you get there. You don't want to go from A to Z. You want to go to A to C to M to L. Go back a little bit, learn as you go, because the person you're becoming needs every step of the journey. You need to evolve slowly, and with this consistency and the dedication and the work that you're doing is going to create this person who you are becoming. You don't bloom by just taking the leap of faith and going all in and just hoping to get there. You'll never know why you won't be that person if you don't take it one step at a time. Each step of your journey, every step that you go through is intentional and with purpose for you to continuously become this next level. Now, with that, I want to remind you that you can have fun without partying, or without drinking, or without going all out to this club or this environment that is there. I have so much fun being sober. I have so much fun just going out to dinner. I don't need to go to clubs. I don't need to go to bars. I can really just sit with the people that I love and want to be around and enjoy the moment. Now, does that mean I'm surrounding myself with people who are also sober? No, I go out to dinner all the time with my husband, and he has a beer or two or a cocktail or whatever it may be, but I don't need to drink or go to these environments where I don't need to be to have fun. And with that being said, I also don't need to surround myself with people who think that that's all that they need to be successful and have fun and enjoy their life. It's really important that you understand that you can have fun being sober and with yourself, but also have fun drinking or partying, but finding that balance for you. But for me, being sober is one of the best things I chose about 2 years ago, and I can tell you that I no longer have to explain why. I no longer feel insecure going out and having to explain myself. I just say I don't like to drink, I don't want to drink, and I will just have as much fun as you will, so let's go have fun. I don't need to over-explain myself. I don't need to explain the reasoning why. I can just show up and have fun as my true, authentic self, and that's good enough for me, and I can hope to continue doing that. Next is that nothing is forever. Sometimes we need to let go of things. Sometimes we have to understand that relationships end, friendships end, and situations end. You may not always be 100% for someone. You may not always understand the path or why things are ending, but it's also important to understand that you are on this journey to learn along the way, and that person may have only come for a reason or a purpose, or they no longer are that level or that important to you. I want to remind you that you will have friendships that you have forever. There will be situations where you always remember it, but you can't go back to it in the same capacity that you did as you evolve and grow. And as you're changing and as you're evolving, it's important that you understand that the things that come in our life at a specific time is there for a reason, and that there's a purpose and a meaning behind every single aspect of life. So what that means, you just need to figure it out. And sometimes we may not know the answers, sometimes we don't understand, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a bigger reason or a why of why either it didn't last as long or that it just kind of changed and evolved and fizzled out, and that's okay. And that being said, stop holding on to things that no longer serve you and start making room for the things that could come. What is coming and what is next, if you are doing the work and you're going through the journey, you can let things go. And you can accept that things are going to be different, things are going to change, they're going to be maybe not exactly what you thought, but if you hold on to it, how are you going to make room for the next thing? How are you going to level up? How are you going to show up as your best self? How are you going to become this next person? Because if you don't let it go, you're not making room for opportunities, you're not even looking for the possibilities, and you're closing yourself off to the level and the person that you are today. And that's so scary to think that there are things that, again, do not last forever, and you're holding on to them because you're afraid of what's going to happen next. And the next step could be the one that changes it all for you. It could be the step that makes you become this next person, or level up, or show up as your best self. And I cannot wait to see what happens, but you need to know your worth. You need to stop accepting things that don't reflect your worth. And this is the last point I'm going to go on. What you accept and how you react is how you see yourself. Your worth is the most important thing. How you see yourself, how you hold yourself, the confidence. You don't need to be fully confident to know that you're worth more. You just need to feel it in your heart and in your soul that there is more out there for you, and you need to start holding yourself one day at a time as a whole higher value, as this person who is worthy of more, this person who only accepts the good, who only accepts that next chapter, that next series, that next level, and the person who is no longer going to let people step on them or be people pleasing, and let yourself have a voice and have that power. And the power that we're going to be walking into over the next few years is all about stepping into this person who is not egotistical, is not self-centered, is not full of themselves, but is intentional, powerful, purposeful, fulfilled, living their best life, and still leaning into others. It's important that this journey that you are going on is all about who you are becoming, because you can reinvent yourself over and over again. You are gonna surround yourself with people that you can take advice from and that you can lean into, and that will fill your cup as much as you are, and that you are changing and evolving and letting yourself kind of go into these different chapters, into these different moments, because you are not stuck with who you are today. And as I'm looking at the next 3 years as I turn 30, all of these are something that I want to lean into. These life lessons from what I'm accepting, knowing my worth, having fun with just being myself, knowing that I have to let go and change and evolve, and knowing that I have the power to take control and not just letting things flow and go and get twisted and turns in ways that I never wanted, and that I have the control to not only fill my own cup, but inspire others and have people around me that I trust and that I feel comfortable with and that I know are gonna uplift me when I need it. So with all this being said, I want to remind you that it's never too late. You are not on a path that you're stuck on, and that if you're in your late 20s, we still have time. We are not 30 yet. We have not hit that cusp of the best era of our life ending. We still have years left to go. And turning 27 is a very emotional one for me. I feel like we're living in a crazy world, and I just need to remind myself that I'm in control. I have the power. I can be fulfilled. And that all it takes is believing in myself and building my life of my dreams and blooming one day at a time as I find that balance, because over time I will become, and who I'm becoming is evolving and changing continuously, and it may not all go as planned, but it's happening. And knowing that I started 2 years ago and inspiring people every single day to start their journey no matter where they are is something that just lights up my soul, and I cannot wait to see what the next year brings, what other lessons I have, and knowing that I have about 1,000 days left until I turn 30. And what am I going to do with that? How am I going to show up? It's like 1,100 days from right now. Yeah, that's crazy. To show up as my best self every single day for the next 1,100 days. And knowing that I have that time, and that's not even the end, that's just till I turn 30. And then we're on the next series of life and see what our focuses are, what our priorities are, and the life that I could be living by then could be completely different from today. And I'm excited to know that I have that in me to show up as my best self every single day, and knowing that it's okay if I'm not there yet, but I'm on the journey. And I want to know if any of these reflected with you and how you feel about getting older and what life looks like for you right now, and in 2 to 3 years what you want to accomplish, because I have so much further to grow. I have so much more to achieve, and knowing that I can take it one step at a time, that can come to fruition and I can be even more fulfilled and happy and excited about life is a blessing. And I'm so excited to know that I can just take it one day at a time. I can show up as my best self. I can inspire you guys and be part of this community that I've created. So much more is to come. So much more is happening. And I'm ready for this next chapter of being 27 years old and seeing what the next year brings. So keep believing in yourself, keep building in the life of your dreams, balance your day-to-day life, and bloom one day at a time, and become. It is possible. And as always, I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.